Hey guys, it's Allison here, and I have taken a week off. I haven't created any scrapbook pages for the week. I was sort of mentally exhausted after finishing my daughter's grad album, but good news, she really loves it. So I haven't even really thought about switching any of those layouts just yet. But I need to clear off my desk, literally, figuratively, and all that kind of good stuff. And this is what has been sitting on my desk all week. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have been posting a card every day as part of the 100-day project. And yeah, I have made those cards on this messy desk, and all this stuff I just kind of shoved to one side. So this is basically all the paper scraps that are left from my kit. So I thought I would, well, from my kit and then anything I added to it as I went along. I thought I would go through this, pull out anything that I know I'm not going to use and not feel bad about it, and just recycle it, especially if it's something that is too small to be used on a layout or even a card, or if it's, you know, a branding strip that is just, it's not really my style or whatever. I'm just going to say goodbye to it, thank it for being part of my life and contributing to my many layouts, and move on. And then the rest of it, I think I might grab a piece of white cardstock or something, or I could use, I had quite a bit of this yellow that I used part of it. Well, I used it to make the letterings for the title page. So I could theoretically use a part of this yellow on a piece of paper, or I can just put this into my stock of cardstock that I have. I'll see. But anyways, this is what I have. So, bits of cardstock. I've still got quite a few butterflies from that butterfly garland left. I've got quite a few of those 3x4 cards left. And I don't know if I really feel like I need to use these right now. There's a lot of sort of neutral colors here, so they could be good to just kind of keep on hand for future layouts. Like that's a pretty clear sort of black, gray, and white, off-white palette right there. The other sides are a bit more colorful perhaps, but yeah, I don't know. I might just put those aside and use them for other projects. So those are my 3x4 cards. I've got some 6x6 papers in here. I still have some full sheets that I had pulled aside thinking I might use, and then I went in a different direction. So those I can just put right back into my 6x6 paper pad. And then I've got a big block of that floral, which has the yellow stripe on the back. I've got quite a few of these frames left. The other side is good too. It's a good neutral. I've got a bit of that. I've got quite a few of these. Now my daughter, my youngest daughter, is going to be a flamingo in their upcoming ballet year-end show. So I think I will hang on to that. They have photo days this Saturday where she is going to be in full costume, full makeup. So I'll snap some pictures of her, and I can make like a pre-layout, pre-dance layout, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. There's another card there. Another one. Yeah. Oh, another 3x4 card. And again, it's gray. Go figure. One more of those. And the rest, as you can see, are scraps. So what can I do with scraps? I mean, I could make a card, obviously. I did that with scraps from kit number 1. I think I would like to try and challenge myself. Shemelle does this thing where she like piles on all the scraps onto a layout. I think I would like to try and challenge myself to do that. So I'm going to get a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to put these ones to the side because they're slightly bigger, and I might use some of them, I might not. I might change my mind. This is very much kind of a spur of the moment thing. I really was not intending to even turn the camera on today. But yeah, so let's, you know what, I said I was going to go through everything and I didn't feel I could use it, I was going to say goodbye to it. Yep. Goodbye. Some of these, I have a very hard time saying goodbye to paper. I really do. I don't know if you have that problem. Okay, let's trim some of these so they're boxes. Those were from a 6x6 paper. Okay, that's a branding strip, and I'm never going to use it. Pattern doesn't really appeal to me, so it's got to go. These larger pieces are fine. I'm not sure about all these. And I got the glasses on that side. But I do have a lot of them. So, you know what, I'm thinking the little ones have got to go. That's a branding strip. That is a branding strip. I'm not going to use that. I've used those circles on a lot of different layouts, and I think I am okay with letting what remains just go. Bicycles. Now I could save that. I do have, we did, when we were in Paris, we did a bicycle tour of Versailles, and I have quite a lot of bicycle embellishments and papers and things set aside, so I could add that, or I could just not. Okay, so these are all sort of branding strips that I just don't think I need. Some of them, like these little guys, are nice bright colors that I think I could use. Okay, so that is what I'm going to save. And I'm going to try and make something pretty with these. Why not? All right, it's a sunny Wednesday. Why not? Let's get some white cards. And I don't think I'm going to be able to place things down and talk to you at the same time. So forgive me, but I'm going to just fast forward this. Okay, where to start? Well, I do think it's best to start with the largest scrap that I have, which is this piece of yellow on one side and then the gorgeous floral on the other. That is from Chamel's Little by Little collection. And while I love that floral, I feel it's a bit too heavy for what I have in mind. Because I've used the white cardstock background, I want to keep this as light and airy as I possibly can. So using the yellow striped side of that piece of paper will help that. And then it's a matter of layering up all the other little bits. And I'm starting with my longest bits, which are the branding strips. But I don't want to keep any of them at the 12-inch length. I want them all to be a bit shorter than 12 inches, so I have some of that white cardstock all the way around the layout, like as a frame or border or whatever you want to call it. And then I don't want any of the edges of the strips to line up with each other. Like I don't want a neat stack. I want them purposefully haphazard and kind of scattered. So that's what I'm doing. And I don't honestly have a plan for photos at this point. I am just going to create this sort of base, a starting point, if you will. I know Chamel used to do these great starting point challenges a long time ago, and it's kind of a fun way to break out of a rut, I guess, or shake things up, if you will, to just not think of a photo, not have a plan for your layout, but just layer up your paper, paint the background, whatever it is you're doing, just kind of have fun, create, and then worry about the rest of it later. So I've got quite a few strips on there, and I have pulled a few. I've got that yellow one up at the top, the wood grain to the right, and then that pink stripe one that I'm just trimming right now. That I think I'm going to build a cluster up at the top. So I've just put them up there so I don't forget about them, basically, while I work down below. And since I've got lots of those strips in fact, I've probably put in as many as I think I'm going to use, I start working on the larger pieces. And I do want to add some height, so I am putting some of these vertically instead of horizontally. And I'm not worried about any odd little gaps in the paper. I figure there's going to be a photo in there somewhere anyways, and that will probably cover it up. I'm hoping that I'm not going to cover up all of the patterns, but at the same time, I'm not super worried that if I do, because they all show up on other layouts. These are scraps, so I've already got my money's worth out of them, if you will. So it's just a matter of finding a sort of pleasing arrangement and then working from there. So I've got it to a point where I feel I need to pull in a photo, and I had no idea what photo to scrap. I had a few options on my desk that I sort of flipped through and didn't really like any of them. So I went digging into my archives, basically, and this photo is probably about 10 years old. It's from the birthday party of a neighbor, and the mom invited Belle to visit. So the girls are all dressed in princess dresses. My oldest two girls are about 2 and 4 in this photo. So yeah, they're all pretty little. So it's kind of this cute princessy, like it sort of suits the light, airy feeling I guess I've got going here. And some of the sentiments that I've got, like that dark blue strip that is above the title has things like "Hooray, it's today" or something like this. So I feel like the picture will work, and I can work all the other embellishments into it as well. So I have gone through my embellishments, and I've pulled out a few things. Now I have this one sheet of these puffy stickers from the Maggie Holmes Bloom collection, and I have so few left that I was hoping to use as many as possible on this layout. And I've pulled out that photo frame, and I decide to turn it into a journaling box. Now, right there, I realized as I was writing the journaling that I wrote the wrong, there's daughter's name, because there's 2 girls about the same age as my 2 girls. So I wrote the wrong name in there as the birthday girl, because I realized when I took a closer look at the photo that the birthday girl was sitting in Belle's lap, and it was not the name of the girl that I had just written down. So I had to quickly cut that off, and thankfully the piece of paper was long enough that I could get that frame back on it, and it fit. It still fits. So that was lucky. I was really lucky. But it's kind of a perfect spot to get my journaling in. And then I can work in, I have a lot of those little black puffy word phrases that I figure I can scatter around. And now it's time to work in the upper corner there. And I'm just going to do the same thing, not really think too much, just stick and go. And I had 2 scraps. When I was laying everything out, I had put them with the black check side up, and then I remembered that I have this gorgeous floral pattern on the other side, which I completely loved. So that's the side that I ended up showing on the layout. And I had just the 2 scraps of them. So one is above the photo and one is now in that corner. And I'm just layering everything else up there. And I cut that navy blue strip in 2 so that I could have one down near the photo and one up at the top, because I had covered up the other piece of that same navy blue under the photo. So now I have pulled out all the rest of my embellishments, and I am having a quick flip through. The washi would have been a really good thing to maybe add before I added all the photo, like not all the photos, the photo, but I hadn't really thought of it, so too bad, but moving on. And right now I'm just sticking everything to the side of my mat there, everything that I want to maybe put on this layout. And yeah, I just pulled off a little yellow bird. So the princess is Belle, and I figure, you know, it's Cinderella, I suppose, that talks, and Aurora that, you know, has animal friends, but I don't know, it seemed appropriate for a Disney princess to have a little yellow bird. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go at this point, but I figure I can work it in somewhere. So now I'm just adding all my embellishments, and with the 3 gold bows, I'm scattering them around. I really like the one that's on top of the journaling. I don't know, it looks kind of cute there. And I'm putting some on the photo because I have the journaling box covering the photo at the top corner. I know it's okay to overlap other elements onto the photo. If I don't overlap the photo, it will probably look a little strange that the only thing covering the photo is that journaling box. But so by adding more things that not cover the photo, but overlap onto the photo, it feels more cohesive. And it makes that journaling box look completely intentional that it's covering the photo. There's nothing important at the top of the photo. I think there's a few parents making funny faces or something. I don't know, looking very bored. And then just background house type things. Okay, so I'm just finding places for all these last stickers. And I quite like that big camera above Belle. I think that it works with the sort of feel of the layout, the story there. That it's, I mean, I don't know how many little girls in their princess costumes are sitting on those couches, but it was quite a sight. Okay, and now I have found some jewels. So I have a little pouch, a little baggie in my stash that had a bunch of random jewels in it. And there was a strip of hot pink hearts, you know, the type of jewel strips that they're all stuck together. So I put those down first, and then there was 3 light pink jewels in that baggie, and then I have that 1 package of the dark pink jewels. And I think between the 2 of those, that's all the decoration I'm going to need. For this layout, I could have gone with enamel dots, but I really felt like jewels was the way to go. That princesses need jewels. So there you go. There is the finished layout. I didn't add any gold mist this time. There's, I could have, but I decided that I would just keep the focus on all the paper strips and then the jewels. And there's a little bit of gold from those bows, and I was just going to leave it at that. So, yeah, this was a lot of fun. But everything that I have left, like all the little strips, I am just putting into my recycling. The little photo frames and the 3x3 cards I will keep, but I'll put them into my regular stash. And I'm going to move on to another kit. Yay! Okay, thank you so much, guys. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.